welcome to Live Law, your trusted source for the latest updates in legal news. I'm your host Shambhavi, and today we are diving into a very important legal principle. Bail is the rule, jail is the exception. This doctrine has been making headlines in recent cases involving high-profile political figures like Arvind, Kejriwal, Manish, Sisodia, Kavitha, Prabir, Purkayastha, and many others. But what does this principle really mean? And how does it apply in the context of the Indian legal system? Let's break it down with a focus on key legal provisions, case laws, and of course, recent controversies. Stay tuned till the end and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Live Law for more insightful legal updates. First, let's start with the basics. What is bail? Black's Law Dictionary defines bail as the procurement of the release of a person from legal custody by undertaking that he shall appear at the time and place designated and submit himself to the jurisdiction and judgment of the court. According to the definition clause under Section 2 of BNSS, bail means release of a person accused of or suspected of commission of an offence from the custody of law upon certain conditions imposed by an officer or court on execution by such person of a bond or a bail bond. The main idea behind granting bail is to respect a person's right to personal liberty under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Bail isn't just a privilege, it's a right, unless of course there's a valid reason to deny it. The principle of bail is the rule, jail is the exception stems from the idea that an accused is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The fundamental principle remains that personal liberty is a constitutional right under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, which guarantees the right to life and personal liberty. The new laws continue to assert that pre-trial detention is an exception and should not be used unless absolutely necessary. The principle bail is a rule, jail is the exception has been reaffirmed by the Supreme Court in various landmark judgments. One of the most cited is the case of State of Rajasthan versus Balchand. Justice Krishna Iyer in his judgment famously said, bail is a rule, jail is the exception. This case emphasized the need for personal liberty and ensuring that detention is only a last resort. Other notable cases include Hussainara Khatoon versus State of Bihar, where the SC addressed the issue of under-trial prisoners and expedited the release of many who had been detained without trial for years. Chandra versus CBI, in which the SC ruled that economic offences also warrant bail, highlighting that deprivation of liberty cannot be justified only because a person is accused of a serious offence. Similarly, the Shivakumar versus State of Bihar ruling, which discouraged unnecessary arrest, remains relevant under the new BNSS provisions. Courts are required to assess the necessity of pre-trial detention carefully, ensuring that arrests and detentions are not arbitrary. Now let's discuss the high-profile cases involving political figures like Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia and Kavitha, among others. These cases have brought the issue of bail to the forefront with allegations of misuse of power and judicial discretion. In 2014, Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, was arrested for defamation but was granted bail later, drawing attention to how bail is granted even in politically motivated cases. Again, he has been implicated in the high-profile Delhi excise policy scam. The scam centers around allegations that the Aam Aadmi Party government manipulated the excise policy for the distribution of liquor licenses in Delhi, benefiting certain private players and causing losses to the exchequer. He has been recently granted bail in this matter. As we mentioned earlier, Manish Sisodia, the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, is under investigation in connection with the Delhi excise policy scam. His bail plea was rejected on grounds of tampering with evidence and influencing witnesses. The court ruled that given his position of power, the risks were too high to release him on bail. This case has sparked public debate about whether the judicial system is following the principle of bail is the rule, or whether it is being compromised for political reasons. Kavitha, a politician from Telangana, was linked to the Delhi liquor scam. Her legal team sought anticipatory bail under Section 438 CrPC, which allows an individual to avoid arrest in cases where there is fear of arrest due to false allegations. This is a classic use of anticipatory bail, a protection often utilized by high-profile individuals when political motivations are suspected. Another recent case involves Delhi's former Health Minister Satyendra Jain, who was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on charges of money laundering. Jain's bail plea was rejected multiple times by both lower courts and the Delhi High Court. The court noted that Jain was still in a position of influence and could obstruct the investigation if granted bail. His legal team continues to argue for his release, citing the principle that personal liberty should not be curtailed without sufficient cause. Karnataka Congress leader D.K. Shivakumar was arrested in 2019 on charges of money laundering. He was denied bail multiple times, but after spending over 50 days in custody, the Delhi High Court granted him bail. The court emphasized that pre-trial detention should not be punitive and reiterated that the law favors bail unless the circumstances clearly call for denial. Poet and activist Varavara Rao was arrested in the Bhima Koregaon violence case under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act (UAPA). He spent over 2 years in jail before being granted bail on medical grounds by the Bombay High Court in 2021. In this case, the court balanced the need to protect individual liberty with humanitarian considerations given Rao's advanced age and deteriorating health. One of the most recent and widely discussed cases is that of Prabir Purkayastha, the founder of NewsClick, an independent media platform. He was arrested under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act in October 2023, accused of receiving foreign funding to spread alleged pro-China narratives. His bail plea was denied multiple times, raising concerns about the state's use of stringent laws like the UAPA to suppress media freedom and dissent. Sanjay Raut, a Shiv Sena MP, was granted bail after multiple rejections in his money laundering case. The court acknowledged that prolonged detention without trial goes against the personal liberty guaranteed under the Constitution, once again reflecting the importance of upholding the principle of bail. The Aryan Khan case drew massive media attention after he was arrested by the Narcotics Control Bureau in 2021. Despite no concrete evidence linking him to drug possession or consumption, his bail was denied multiple times. Eventually, the Bombay High Court granted him bail, underscoring the importance of applying the rule fairly and not depriving an individual of liberty without sufficient cause. Riya Chakrabarti's arrest in drug-related case following actor Sushant Singh Rajput's death became a media spectacle. After several bail rejections, the Bombay High Court finally granted her bail in 2020, stating that there was insufficient evidence to justify her continued detention. Her case became a symbol of how media trials can overshadow the fundamental principles of justice, like the presumption of innocence and the right to bail. While the principle of bail is a rule is intended to protect personal liberty, it's often criticized for being inconsistently applied, especially when it comes to the rich and powerful. In cases involving politicians or high-profile business people, bail is often seen as a way to avoid jail time, with claims of favoritism within the judiciary. Critics point out that poor or marginalized individuals often face harsher treatment, with bail being denied even in less serious cases. The judiciary has the difficult task of balancing the rights of the accused with the need to ensure justice. In cases where there is a threat of absconding, influencing witnesses, or tampering with evidence, courts have the discretion to deny bail. For example, in P. Chidambaram's case, the former union minister was denied bail due to concerns over his possible interference in the investigation. But the courts also recognize the need to avoid prolonged pre-trial detention. In the case of Arnab Goswami versus State of Maharashtra, the SC emphasized the importance of personal liberty and granted him bail, stating that no one should be deprived of liberty without adequate justification. So where does that leave us? While the legal principle that bail is the rule, jail is the exception is well established, its application can vary based on the case, the individual involved, and even public sentiment. It's a crucial part of our justice system, ensuring that a person is not unjustly deprived of their liberty. However, the controversies around high-profile cases remind us that the law must be applied fairly and consistently. That wraps up today's discussion on the principle of bail in India, with a closer look at how it has played out in recent cases involving political figures. We hope this video has given you a clear understanding of how the law works and the factor that courts consider when granting or denying bail. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe to Live Law for more in-depth legal analysis and news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.